Hi guys, welcome to the seminar session. This is Ansh. So we'll get started in maybe a couple of minutes, just waiting for a few more people to join in. In the meantime, guys, I'll request if most of you and if all of you can just start your video. So it'll become a bit more interactive that I can see you and you can see me. And in the meantime, guys, are you able to see my screen? Are you able to hear me well? And are you able to see my video? Please confirm. So waiting for the first couple of volunteers to start the video, and I'm sure others will find it easy to follow in that case. Cool. So I'll introduce myself, but before that, if you can just all of you put maybe two liners about yourself, like what's your educational background, and if you have an idea, like why CFA. It's fair if you don't know yet, but in case you have clarity. So guys, in your Q&A portal or in the chat portal, just put like a couple of liners. I'll read it out to everybody else, but just keep it short. And then I'll introduce myself and then we'll get to the business. And I'll request again, if some of you can start your video, please. It's okay, guys. Doesn't matter what the background is. It'll become a lot more interactive and it'll become a lot more interesting if I can see you and you can see me. It'll feel like, I'm not talking to a machine and I'm talking to real people. So request to all of you. Okay, guys, so we have got Rahul. He is in the third year of BMS, and it's fair that he doesn't know like why CFA, and that's the reason he is joining this seminar. Welcome, Rahul. We have got Juhaib working as a credit manager in a bank, and just like trying to understand that how this curriculum will help him in transitioning to other better roles within his bank. That's great. Welcome, Juhaib. Then we have got Ankit, completed graduation in 2013, and after that he joined a call center and maybe looking for CFA to get a better job and to get a better pay. That's completely fair. Thanks very much. We have got Sanjay, who has done MBA in finance. Great. Welcome, Sanjay. We have got Sudeep, a private banker with engineering degree and MBA with 6 years of experience. Wow, that sounds interesting. Then we have got Mujib, who has completed MCOM and searching for a job currently. Great, guys. Just waiting for 2 more minutes in case you wanted to introduce yourselves, and then we'll get started. And I'll request one more time, guys, please. If not all of you, at least some of you can start your videos. It'll make it a lot more better. Doesn't matter like what your background is, just like if you can start your video, will be really, really great. So just, switch on your camera. We have got Teja, who has recently done CA. Wow, that's great. And looking forward to for CFA so that to get global career exposure. Okay, that's great. Then we have got Bhavyasri, completed MBA in finance and have experience in mutual funds. Uh, just interested in CFA for the future. That's great. Guys, if you want to start video, let me just confirm on it should be an option for you. Like, are you not getting an option to start your video? Uh, don't know. Okay. We have got Sri Vidya, who is working as an analyst at bank and want to see the opportunities, what she can get after doing CFA. That's great. Then we have got Zaid, who is working in finance KPO for more than 4 years, and he has done his BBA, thinking for CFA to get more opportunities. That's great. And also we have got Srinivas, completed MBA in finance, working in BNP Paribas. Wow, that's great. Interested in CFA to grow my career as a financial advisor. Cool, guys. So sounds like people from all kind of background. So let me take like a minute to introduce myself. This is Ansh. I have done my Bachelor's of Commerce from Delhi University. I've done my MBA in Finance. I've done my CFA, so I've cleared all 3 levels. And I'm working as a investment banker from past 13 years now. So I have an experience working with firms like CRISIL, Deutsche Bank, HSBC, and I've been associated with EduPristine for almost 10 years now. And I take like CFA level 1, CFA level 2, and CFA level 3 training. And also I take classes for financial modeling and financial risk management, FRM. So that's broadly about me. Uh, we can go through the slides quickly. So the way we'll keep it is like, I'll try to complete the slides in next 35, 40 minutes, and then we'll keep like 10 to 15 minutes for Q&A. And I'm sure like most of your question will be answered through this slide. So generally in the classroom, I'll prefer to make it interactive, like you ask me the doubts as and when you get it. But just for this session, guys, let's keep your doubts, keep noting it down so that you don't forget. But let's discuss all the doubts towards the end of the class. Okay. So without wasting any more time, guys, CFA, the the flow of the today's agenda would be like we'll talk about CFA because that's the reason we all are here. We'll talk a bit about EduPristine, and then if you're interested in CFA, if you're interested in taking the classes with EduPristine, I'll give you the contact details whom you can get in touch with to continue you to start your journey on CFA. So starting with CFA, globally recognized. So a couple of you mentioned that you want to gain global exposure. So even if you've done your MBA in finance from a Indian university or an Indian college, or you have done your CA, that may not have a global recognition. So CFA provides you that global recognition. This is the gold standard when it comes to any certification in finance field globally. So that way, guys, there are no doubts here that it really provides you the global recognition. Career advantage. So if you want to make your career in your finance field, in an analysis field, sell side, buy side, investment banking, project finance, mergers and acquisitions, all of that, it gives you an advantage over others. It's given it's a US syllabus, it's more practical and linked to the real world. So most of the things which you learn in CFA, you'll be using on your day-to-day work. Unlike like some of the Indian courses where you read so much, but when it comes to real life, they are not so practical. And lastly, guys, I would not give too much importance, but yes, community, just like every you have a CA community, you have an alumni group for your MBA. Similarly, like CFA charter, make you put you in the community of people who have done their CFA already, and in the group of investment professionals. Now, the key thing is like there are three levels in CFA. If you already, I'm sure like you must already know, but in case you don't know, there are three levels: level one, level two, level three. For level one, guys, and I'm sure like most of you will be going for level one right now. So the minimum criteria for level one is that either you have done your graduation already or you are in the final year of graduation. So that's one of the key requirement. So I see like most of you, either you're done your graduation, and I see a couple of you who were in the final year of graduation. So you can appear for the exams. And guys, don't forget, even before you register for the exams, you require a passport. And that's mandatory. You do not need an ID proof. You need a passport as an ID proof. Given it's a global exam, that's a must. Now, in this case, after level one, you can go for level two if you clear your level one. And for level three, the only pre-requirement is that you cleared level two. So if you clear all the three levels, do you become a CFA charter? No. After you clear all the three levels, along with that, you need 4 years of work experience. Right? So like generally they say 3 to 4 years, but generally go with 4 years. And that 4 years experience can be anytime after your post graduation or after your CFA. So let's say you did your MBA in 2016, and from 16 till 2020, you had a 4 years in finance related sector. So as soon as you do your CFA, you can become a CFA charter. So there should be a 4 years of work experience either before CFA or after CFA, but that experience has to come after your post graduation. And that should be in a sector or in a field which is related to finance. Now, when I say finance, it can be in bank, it can be in investment bank, it can be in a company, in a finance profile or something related to it. Now, in this case, guys, like there have been lots of changes because of COVID-19 in terms of the frequency of the exams. It used to be only the level one exam used to be twice in a year, but now they're conducting it 4 times in a year. That gives you more flexibility. And level two and level three were only once in a year. Even they are being conducted twice in a year now. So that's actually good. Like, you did not have to wait for long. Whenever you think you are ready, you can go and appear for the exams. So in this case, you can clear all the three levels if you want in 1.5 years. What are the topics covered? So in level one, level two, level three, the topics covered are similar. So I'll focus more on level one for now. So let's say if you want to become a portfolio manager, and that's like a key focus of this course, guys. So if you want to become a portfolio manager, see portfolio management as a topic. It's small in level one, it increases to in level two, and in level three, it becomes a very, very big portion. But to become a portfolio manager, I'm going to focus now on level one. To become a portfolio manager, there's always one boring subject, right? Like if you do your CA, there will be a course on strategic management. If you do your MBA, there will be a course on management business, something, there'll be one boring topic. So in CFA, you can call it like that's the boring topic, ethics. But guys, just wait for your journey to start and you realize that it's not just a theory topic, but in real life, it really matters if you are going to make your career in finance field because you do one mistake and you'll be thrown out of the industry. So I don't want to get into that right away, but CFA focuses a lot not only on ethics as a subject, but also ethics as a behavior. What do I mean by that? If they see any sort of, forget about cheating, that's like obviously even every exam will take it seriously. But I'm saying even beyond that. For example, if they say stop writing when the time is over and you're still writing, you just take 2 seconds more. That's unethical because you are getting more time compared to other candidates. So, these kind of things, they take it very seriously and they focuses a lot on ethics as a subject, also ethics as a behavior. Then if you want to become portfolio manager, guys, these are the subjects I'll call as enablers. Enablers in the sense, like if you want to do anything, you should know quants, like, some basic fundas, like how to analyze returns, how to quantify returns, how to calculate standard deviation, correlation, regression, and all of that. Economics, there's nothing which is independent of economics. If you want to do any research, you should know what's happening in your macro environment, how the things happen in the microeconomics, and all of that. There's a topic on financial reporting analysis, like how the financial statements are analyzed. So guys, it's different from your CA, where in case of CA, you learn how to prepare accounts. But here it's finance. Finance means accounts are already prepared, how to analyze those financials. So this is what we are going to discuss. So it's financial reporting and analysis, that if the financials are already given, how do you report it and how do you analyze it? And lastly, corporate finance. It's all like financial related decisions for a company. So how should the company borrow money? How should the company invest money? If there are multiple projects, how should a company decide whether to invest into which project, and so on. So these are the enablers. So once these topics will build your aptitude towards finance. After that, guys, you'll get into asset classes. As in, as a portfolio manager, if you get the money from a client, you can invest his or her money into share market, which is nothing but equity investment. You can invest his or her money into bonds or fixed deposits. That's nothing but fixed income. You can invest money into futures and options. That's nothing but derivatives. Or you can put money into some other assets like real estate, private equity, mutual fund, hedge fund, commodities, currencies. All of that will be covered in your alternative investment. So guys, these are the enablers. These are the asset classes. Together, they make you a good portfolio manager. Okay. So this is the topics which are covered across all the three levels. The weightage changes. And also once you get into level 3, guys, the focus is more onto portfolio management. So these enablers become very negligible because you know what you should know already. In case of level 1 CFA exam, guys, you can choose a day on which you want to go and write the exams. So there has been a change. So as I used to tell you, like there was the exams which are conducted in December. There was a single day when all the people will go to an examination center and write the exams. But starting from February 2021, like this is the first time. But I think you are already late for February. So maybe even if you register, I think you'll write your exams in May or August. So in this case, guys, I see a couple of questions coming in, but I'll answer all of that towards the end. I hope that's fine with you. So if you're writing exams in February 2021, you can schedule your exams. So you'll get a slot, you'll get a window. So let's say February exams you can take the exams anytime from 20th of February till 5th of March, let's say. So you can pick a date which is convenient for you if the slots are available, and you can go to your nearby center and write the exams. Just like GMAT and other competitive exams, the way they do it. Initially, there were 240 questions, but now they have made it 180 questions. But guys, doesn't mean that it makes the exam easier. 240 questions had to be answered in 6 hours, but now the total number of hours you get is only 4.5 hours. So the number of questions have come down by 25%, but the time has also come down by 25%. So there used to be 2 sessions of 3 hours each, but now there'll be 2 sessions of 2 hours, 15 minutes each. So 2 hours, 15 minutes is the morning session, 2 hours, 15 minutes is the afternoon session, total 4.5 hours. But in terms of question format, there's no change. It used to be multiple choice question. It will continue to be multiple choice question. And in this case, guys, what used to happen, because level 1 will be only twice in a year and level 2 will be only once in a year, as soon as you clear level 1, you can appear for level 2 exams. But in this case, if you clear your level 1 in February, you can register for the level 2 in August. But if you clear level 1 in May, they would not allow you to register in August because they think that you do not have enough time to prepare for level 2, and then you have to wait for another, I think, December or January attempt. Now guys, focusing on level 2 and level 3, though it's a bit early, but level 1 is all objective. Level 2 is also all objective. In level 3, the morning half, the first half, you have to write the answers. But the second half, this afternoon one, is again objective. Now, how do they rate the people or how do they give scores? That's very black box. So they do not give you an exact score that out of 100 you got these many questions right or you got this much score. They give you a relative marking, and I'll show you one of the example how your mark sheet will look like. So it's not a mark sheet; it's a performance charts. But as of now, guys, level 1, the key thing is that you crack ethics and FRA, because ethics and FRA have a very, very big component. So if I go back to the slide, if you see ethics and FRA combined, ethics is 15 to 20% and FRA is 13 to 17%. So together they are like 35 to 40%. So these are the two key topics. Now guys, these are the dates. Like level 1, currently for you February is not relevant, so you can give exams in May, August or November. Level 2, if you clear your exams in May, you can write in December, or if you you can write the exams in December, but if you give it in August, if you give it in August, you'll be able to write exams next December. So this is what we were discussing. Level 1 will happen 4 times in a year: February, May, August, and November. Level 2 will only be twice in a year, which is May and August. Now, the key question here, guys, which we keep getting is, where do you study from? So one thing is CFA Institute itself gives you a curriculum. So you can, this is what we call as core reading, which is given by the CFA Institute. The other option would be like if you join EduPristine, you can refer to the study material provided by EduPristine. And the third thing, guys, would be a reference material, which is from Swayzer. I'll just type it down so that you can make a note of it, just in case. So you got three options. One is the curriculum provided by the institute, which is the core syllabus, core reading. You can refer to Swayzer, or you can refer to the, if you join EduPristine, you can refer to the study material provided by EduPristine. I'll just tell you like the benefits and the flip side for all three. Core reading, if you do read the books, they're very lengthy. And trust me, guys, it will take you at least 600 to 700 hours to complete your curriculum. So this is the flip side. It takes you very long time to complete your syllabus, but the positive side is because this is a core reading, your concepts will be better, and this will really help you once you get into level 2. Swayzer is a condensed version of the core reading. So it's a reference material. So this you can do, I think, in 300 to 400 hours. But the flip side is that it won't cover 100% of your syllabus. This will cover maybe 95% of your syllabus. And because it's a summary, you might miss some of the conceptual parts. EduPristine will be even smaller because this is for reference purpose during the classroom. So in that case, guys, for EduPristine, I think you can do the entire curriculum in 100 hours, but that may not cover the concepts per se. For EduPristine, it's a good revision material. So let's say once you're done with your entire studies and you want to revise, you go through the presentation. So that'll give you a very good skeleton and very good key points from each and every topic. So I would say that if you think you can spend 600 to 700 hours, go with core reading as your main material. But if you think that you do not have so much time, go for Swayzer, and that should take you 300 to 400 hours. And use your EduPristine material as a revision and for the reference in the classroom. Another thing, guys, you can use a calculator in the exam, but only these three calculators are allowed. So you cannot use your Citizen 500 or your scientific calculators. Only these three calculators are allowed. Now, I don't know, for some reason or the other, I've never seen anybody using HP calculator. Nothing against HP, guys. I love the company, but it's just like somehow I never seen anybody using that calculator. So you can use either Texas BA2 Plus or Texas BA2 Professional. Both of them are similar calculators. It's just that professional one will come with a metallic body with some, like maybe one or two extra features. And obviously it's going to cost you a lot more. So BA2 plus calculator will be like 3,000 rupees, not, yeah, 3,000 rupees. And Texas BA2 professional might be 4,500 rupees, maybe like 500 rupees here or there. Now guys, just getting into the fees part, for CFA level 1, if you enroll, you pay $450. That's a one-time charge. You just pay once in your lifetime. But then it depends when you register for the exams. If you register well ahead in the advance, so for example, for the um, for the February exam, if you register in November or before November, you have to pay $700. But if you register after that, sorry guys, this is for the May exam. For May exam, if you register 6 months in advance, which is like November or before, you have to pay only $700. But if you register after 23rd February till, sorry, after 3rd November till 23rd February, then you have to pay $1,000. So I'm just trying to get you to a number that how much it will cost for the entire CFA exam. So you'll pay $450, which is a one-time fees. And assuming that you can register early and well in advance, you'll pay another $700 three times. So $700 is for each and every level you have to pay. So you have to pay $700 for level 1, again $700 for level 2, and again $700 for level 3. So even if you go for early registration and you get an early bird discount, the total cost will be 700 into 3, which is $2,100 plus $450. So that's equal to $22,550. So I'll just break it down. So registration cost would be 450, and for three exams, there will be another 700 into 3, and depending on, like, what you think, let's say if you do not pass one of the levels in the first attempt, you might have to pay this fees 4 times, right? So that this is your total cost, what you pay to the institute in dollars. So if I put the current exchange rate into 75 in Indian rupees, it will be 2,43,750. But guys, if you clear all the three exams in the very first attempt, the total money you will pay to the institute will be 1,91,250 Indian rupees. Over and above that, you can add, like, let's say 4,000 rupees for your calculator. And if you refer to the core reading, the soft copy will come for free. But if you want the printed copy and if you get it from the institute, that will cost you extra. But instead of that, guys, what you can do is you can get the printouts, and that printout will cost you maybe 3,000 rupees. Or if you go with Swayzer, even that will cost you 1,500 to 2,000 rupees per level. So this is for calculator. And if you buy core reading ka printed books or Swayzer ka printed books, that might cost you another 2,000 to 3,000 per level. So let's call it, let's say 10,000 rupees for all the three levels combined. So roughly this is your total cost, whether or not you take coaching classes. This is the cost you have to incur. So roughly I'll say like 2 lakh rupees plus minus 10,000 rupees. Assuming that you clear all the three levels in the first attempt, and you register for all the exams before the early bird discount. Otherwise, you pay $300 extra, which is roughly 25,000 rupees more. Now, this is how, guys, they give the results. So I'll just zoom it in a bit so that you can see it a bit better. So in this case, the this line, you see like this line, this is like a minimum passing score, they call it, right? And this is like, the top 90th percentile. So this is a minimum passing, sorry, give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, so this is a minimum passing score, and this is like a top 90th percentile score. So if you come above this dotted line, it means you easily pass. If you come below this line, you would have failed. But if you're on this line, you have to really see like what's your exam result, because it's just about you are just the borderline. So to see your actual result, whether you passed the exam or you failed your exam. So guys, now how did you like what's your actual score? Nobody knows. How much did you get into each and every topic? You would not know the exact score. It's all relative marking. So that's the black box, and we can keep discussing, once we start our journey. But they did not tell you a lot that how do they, how do they decide that what will be the minimum passing marks? How do they decide how many people will pass? So as a result, my simple funda here, guys, is that there will be 180 questions in the exam. Out of 180 questions, you get 2/3 questions right. It means out of every three, you get two questions right. It means out of 180 questions, you get 120 questions right. You should pass the exam. And guys, there's no negative marking. That's a great thing. So you must attempt all the questions. And after attempting all the questions, out of 180 questions, you should get 120 questions right. And that should be fair. Now, guys, though I've talked a bit about it, but what are the job prospects? Once you do your CFA program, you can get a job in investment companies. And this is, guys, from the CFA website. So of all the CFA charter holders, 23% of the CFA charter holders are associated with investment banks, investment companies, mutual funds, and hedge funds. 16% of the people are, working with private clients, family offices, or the trust companies. 16% people are into research, investment banking, or the broker dealer. 10% people in institutional. But guys, there are lots of people who are into consulting, into educational background, into regulatory, and lots of other things. Now, after you complete your CFA, what could be the job prospects? If you are someone in love with financial models, this is the role you need. So if you love number crunching, if you are being analytical, or if you want to do something with related to the analysis or with related to finance, this is the course you must go for. So guys, once you do your CFA, you can become a financial modeling analyst. You can make a financial model for the company's valuation and stuff. You can do financial research. You can do equity research. You can do credit research. You can become a corporate analyst. You can become a project analyst. So guys, it's just like, I'll call it, it's a general MBA, or it's just like MBA in finance. After doing MBA in finance, you can do n number of things. So same with CFA, it's very generalized course. So you can do so many things after doing your CFA. But let's say if you do your MBA, which is, finance for international companies, that becomes very niche. So CFA is very general and keeps your options open. You can also get into a banking job. You can you can get associated with a fund. You can get associated with a indexing. So guys, it's not an exhaustive list, but as I told you, you can become a project manager. Even, like some CFAs goes into supply chain, because, that requires some analysis. People get into strategy of the company. People become consultants. So that's broadly about CFA, guys. I'm sure like you'll have lots of questions, which we'll discuss in some time, but I'll quickly give you a glimpse about EduPristine and what EduPristine has to offer in terms of CFA curriculum or CFA coaching classes. So EduPristine, like they have been like, they are the number one. I don't know the number one, but they are for sure one of the top institute when it comes to giving coaching to CFA candidates. Uh, just not CFA, guys, they are involved into many other courses, and they are a subsidiary of a listed company in the US. So they were acquired by Adtalem Global Education, which is a listed entity in the US. So I'll just focus on what EduPristine has to offer if you go ahead with EduPristine. So the entire course will include classroom training, which will be for 120 hours. So guys, just to make sure that for the entire exam, you have to study for 400 hours if you're going for Swayzer books. If you prefer to take curriculum books, that will require you more than 400 hours. But let's say if you go for Swayzer books, the recommendation is that you study for 400 hours. So the classroom will be only for 120 hours. That would mean that just attending the class won't be enough. You have to do lots of your self study. So the rule of thumb is for every 1 hour of class, you do the self study for 3 hours. But the beauty of the classroom is like, all your concepts, all the difficult things will be clarified. So once you go back home, it's just like you practice and you just try to read something around it. So your core part will be done, but other sidey things you can do in your own time, and you have to practice a lot in your own time. So like this, there will be 24 classroom sessions of 5 hours each. So 24 into 5 will make it 120 hours. Now guys, these 5 hour session, the time could be 9 to 2 or 3 to 8 p.m. Now some people prefer a morning time, some people prefer an afternoon time. So depending on the majority, and also depending on, there could be 2 batches, one in the morning and two in the second one in the afternoon. So that depends on your preference, which batch you want to join. Along with the classroom training, guys, which will happen only on the weekend. So weekend also, depending on the batch, it can be a Sunday only batch because there are people working on Saturdays, or it can be a Saturday plus Sunday batch. So 5 hours on Saturday, 5 hours on Sunday. So there'll be 10 hours per week. But if it's a one class per week, it'll be only on Sundays, and then you'll do just 5 hours per week. So guys, if it's a 1 day per week, then obviously it'll take you 24 weeks, almost 6 months to complete the training. But if it's a 2 days per week, one on Saturday, the other one on Sunday, you'll be done with the curriculum in 3 months. Along with the classroom training, guys, you'll get the material from EduPristine, which is a condensed version and very helpful when it comes to revision. It'll also give you mind maps, like it'll give you like even more condensed version. So they'll summarize the entire topic in 5 to 10 slides or maybe 15 slides. So what you'll study in like 50 hours, they'll condense that in 5 slides. Again, just going through these slides, you won't get an idea about the concept. But if you've done the concept, you've done the revision, but just to make a broad overview on the topic, those mind maps are helpful. So guys, these notes are very concise. The faculty will always be, like they will be the expert in their field. So for example, I never take economics class because I don't think I'm very good at economics, but I love taking corporate finance and equity investment and the fixed income class. But that's my, like my work experience. And this is what I've been doing for the last so many years. Now, also like they will conduct exams so that you can practice for the exam. So there will be one full length exam which will be classroom based, like you come to a classroom and you write the exam, and there'll be other 7 to 8 exams which will be online. And guys, along with this mock paper, you get lots of question bank which you can do as per your comfort. And also you can put your queries to an online portal. You may not get an immediate answer, but you'll get an answer eventually. If you got any doubts or if you want to discuss any problem. So this is what you get in the form of classroom. Or you can go for the online module. In case of online module, everything remains, but the only thing is it won't be classroom based, it will be a online training. But everything else remains same. Now guys, the beauty of the classroom training is that also whatever is happening in the online training, those sessions will be recorded and that will also be made available to the people who are going with the classroom training. So the benefit of that is, let's say if you're going for a classroom and you miss a class or two, it's okay. You cannot get the same class being repeated, but you can watch the online module of it. People who go for the online classes also will get the recording. So online classes are recorded and you'll get a recording of that, whether you go for classroom training or you go for online training. So that's one of the good things about it. Now guys, in both the cases, whether it's classroom or online training, you also get a crash course. So we have spent like 120 hours doing the entire syllabus, but then the same syllabus we revise in 40 hours. But guys, these sessions are longer sessions. These are not 5 hour sessions. These are 8 hours per class. So 40 hours, 8 hours per session, you complete that in 5 days. What is the objective here? That you revise what you have done very quickly, and also you do lots of practice question, which make you ready for the exams. So these are the things you get access to. So guys, again, I'm repeating, if you go for classroom, you get everything this plus all the recordings of the online classes plus crash course. If you go for the online version, you get all of the same things, but the classes will not be in classroom, they will be online. Plus you get all the recorded sessions if you want to watch it again, or if you miss some of the sessions, and you get access to the crash course. If you go for classroom, the crash course will also be classroom. If you go for online, the crash course will also be online. Now, why EduPristine, guys? One of the thing is like they are one of the biggest institute when it comes to CFA, so they can hire all the good faculties. The batch size, they do not go for like 100, 200 people. The batch size will be limited to 25 to 30 people, so that you get good attention from the trainer and or feedback. Now, guys, I know that when it comes to feedback, I've given so many feedback to Vodafone and Airtel, they never listen. But here the feedback is a bit different in the sense that whatever feedback you give me for the classroom will impact the payment which I get from the institute by 20 to 30%. So if your feedback is good, I get a better payment. But if your feedback is bad, I'll get the payment for that class just as a goodwill gesture, but I would not, you will not see my face ever again in that classroom because they take feedback very seriously. And now, guys, it doesn't matter. Let's say if you do not like my t-shirt color and one of you give me a very bad feedback, I'm not talking about, like in that case, you can still see me again. So when I say if you give me a bad feedback, out of 30 people, if 10 people thinks I'm not a great teacher, you won't see me again. So I'll give you a detail of it because I think that's one of the important point here. So each of you give me a rating after the class on, I think, 7 parameters, of which parameter 5, 6, and 7 is not actually representative of my competence. For example, it can be about the cleanliness of the classroom or the internet connection and all of it. But these are the core ones. So for all these 4 parameters, each of you have give me a feedback on a scale of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this case, everybody give me 4 ratings on parameter 1, parameter 2, parameter 3, parameter 4. And if there are 30 people, all 30 people will give me a rating on all the 4 parameters. So if my average score across all the parameter, across all the people is less than 4, you would not see my face again. If it's more than 4, but less than 4.5, my payment will be impacted. But only if it's more than 4.5, I get like the full payment. So they take feedback very seriously, guys. My point here is not to tell you like how my payment gets impacted or not, but it's just to tell you that feedback is an integral part and is a critical component when it comes to the entire philosophy here. And guys, though you do the curriculum, you do the CFA, but still to make you job ready, they also give you some training on the soft skills, like how to prepare for the interviews, how to communicate, how to present your idea and all of that, because that will make you like a full job ready. Now, this is what EduPristine has to offer you. Like they give you a course structure, which is available to you all 24 hours. You get frequent seminars and webinars so that if you got any doubts or if you want to just, be on top of everything, that will be helpful. So this is what I was talking about. So the average rating for CFA is 4.73 out of 5. So on a scale of 5, the average rating is 4.73. So if I get 4.8, 4.9, it's great. If I get 4.5, it's okay. I'm not so great, but I'm not so bad. If I get a rating of 4, oh my God, you require a new faculty. And guys, finally, so they provide you CFA training, they give you soft skill training to make you job ready, but also they provide you placement assistance. So let's say I'm a trainer, but I know lots of people in the investment banking industry, given my experience. So the institute will leverage on the trainers, they will leverage on their own connections, and they'll try to give you the references. They'll help you in your resume building, they'll help you in your interview preparation, and finally they'll give you a placement lead. What do I mean by placement lead? They'll give you the job profiles, that okay, this company is looking for this kind of person with this kind of profile. If you want to apply, send your resume and they'll refer it for you. And when it comes to connections, guys, EduPristine is an old institute and they've got connection because they have provided training on a corporate level as well. So they've provided trainings to lots of banks and the investment banks. And also, guys, they provide trainings to lots of financial institutes. So let's say if ISB wants to conduct some some training, some of the, like EduPristine conducts it for ISB. They conduct it for IITs and BITS and the IIMs. So guys, if you want to start your journey, you can get enrolled. First of all, you have to enroll with CFA, but also in case you think you require coaching classes, you can enroll with EduPristine. These are the details. I know it's a bit too early for you to make the payment, but just like take a screenshot or just like make a note of it. I'll be there on this slide for maybe 15 seconds. Just take a snapshot or just take a picture of this slide, guys. And lastly, guys, all the people who are attending the seminar, you'll get a call just to tell you like what is the fees. So don't ask me what the fees is. Like I'm a freelancer, so even I don't know what the fees they're charging and all. So I'm sure like all of you will have a query on what is the fees, when is the batch starting. So on these two queries, guys, wait for them. They will call you and then you can discuss with them. But in case you do not get a call in a day or two, feel free to call this number, Gaurav Sharma. You can send an email at gaurav.sharma@edupristine.com or you can call on this number. So unfortunately, like I would not know what is the batch timing, sorry, when is the batch starting, what is the fees, and also what will be the timing of the batch. So for these three things, you'll get directly contacted by the institute. So that being said, guys, I'll just take a pause for a minute, but you can start bombarding with all the questions you have, and I can try to answer to as many questions as I can. Okay, so I'll just go to the job roles slide. One of the people have a query like what are the jobs, and all of them, some of this is already there on the website, guys, so don't worry too much. These are the job roles, like these are the industries where people are working after doing their CFA charter. But guys, 17% is another category, which is a very big category. So that includes like people, as I told you, right, even people in supply chain, people in marketing, even these are the people who have done their CFA. Okay. um, there's a question that English is not so good, so okay, guys, so there's a question like, even if your English is not so great, can you go for this exam? See, if it's you don't have to be an expert in English, but yes, you should be able to read and write English well. And if you find difficult to read English, you might face an issue because everything will be in English. And the language, given it's a US exam, some of the words or some of the terminology they might use might be a slightly, I won't say like a fancy English, but it won't be like all the easy words. There will be some difficult words as well. So yes, you do not have to be an expert, but you should be able to read and write very well in English if you want to pursue with this course. Okay, Aman, like on your question that I've done my, just give me 1 second, guys. I've done, okay, so there's another question that I've done my computer engineering and MBA in finance. Currently, I'm running my family business. I need to know if I should go for CFA, and you did not have any work experience prior in your company. Okay, so in this case, like Aman, depends a lot, like what's your family business is, but that's very individual question, and maybe we can take it offline. But the point here is, if you think that CFA is going to help you in your family business, it can help you depending on what kind of family business you are into. If it's related to providing financial advisory services and other things, yes, for sure, it can be helpful. Or if you want to change the trajectory and you want to get into a corporate profile, for that, you have to break the ice. And for that, CFA again can be helpful. But again, I'll need lots of more details and we can take it afterwards. Shiksha, there's a question is on, do EduPristine helps in placements as well? Yes. But guys, that being said, like getting a placement done after CFA level 1, don't be too excited about it because it's not so easy to get a job after just level 1. So to wait for at least level 2 before you start applying for the jobs. Is clearing CFA foundation exam mandatory to take level 1 exam? Okay, so there's nothing called CFA foundation exam. Level 1 is your first level. So there are only 3 levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. There's nothing called foundation exam. I have a question. If I paid amount for level 1, if I did not score like passing marks, I have an two option to write on the same amount? No. So once you pay that $700 or $1,000, I'll go back to the slide. So once you pay this $700, you can write exam only once. If you fail it and you want to write again, you have to again pay $700. So every time you write the exam, so let's say you registered for level 1, you pay this one only one time, but you pay $700. If you clear, you pay another $700 for the next level. Or if you don't clear, you pay another $700 to write the same exam all over again. So every time you write an exam, you have to pay $700. So guys, this is the registration timeline. If you want to register in May for an early bird, 3rd November, which is already gone, and you got just like another 10 days. If you want to write the exams in May, but still that will cost you $1,000, not $700. But if you want to register for August, again, the early bird is just gone, but just say whether they, just see whether they have postponed the dates, or you can you can wait till 4th May and register with $1,000. There's a question that I've got 50% in graduation, so can I go for CFA? So all you should do is you should have clear graduation or you should be in final year of graduation. Your score doesn't matter for CFA. So there's no minimum marks which you must have to write your CFA exams. Okay, so there's a question that I've already done my post graduation. Can I directly go with level 2? No. So there's no such exemption, guys. Even if you've done your PhD or you've done your MBA in finance or you've done whatever it is, everybody has to start with CFA level 1. So there's no exemption whatsoever. Okay, that's a good question actually. That what if I pose after level 2, as in if you clear level 2 but you do not go for level 3, does it add any value to your resume? That's a good question. Let me do it in a bit detail. So if you do level 1 and just stop after that, else it's not worth it. Don't go for it. It doesn't add any value, especially if you are from a finance profile, because level 1 will tell me that okay, you have got some basic understanding of finance, And if you already have a finance background, as in you've done your MBA in finance or you've done your CA, that's obvious that you have a basic understanding of finance, or maybe more than that. So maybe CFA level 1 will add some value to people coming from a non-finance background, but not much for a person coming from a finance background in terms of resume. So guys, if you're writing your CFA just because you want to clear level 1 and get out of it, please don't do that. Doesn't make much sense, especially for finance students. So the minimum thing you should target is level 2. But level 2 will not add like lots of value, it'll add some value. So maybe it's difficult, but if I say like level 1 will add maybe 10% to your resume, the total value of your CFA syllabus is, let's say, 100%. Level 1 will add 10%. Level 1 plus level 2 will add maybe 40 to 50%. But level 1 plus level 2 plus level 3 will add the 100% value to your resume. So don't, like, if you're registering for this course, target with level 3, but minimum you should do level 2. If you think you will just stop after level 1, please don't waste your money. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This is another good question. Because of the given the pandemic we are in, is this a right time to take up the course? So they say, right, when the market conditions are not good, it might be difficult to find a job. So the best thing you can do is upskill yourself. Because when the market conditions improve, you're all set and you're actually better employable. So lots of people went into MBA, in 2008 and 9 because the market conditions being bad. So they took that time off to upskill themselves. So yes, because of pandemic, it makes even more sense for you to go for courses like this. So when the market economy recovers after a couple of years, I'm not talking about stock market, guys, they've already recovered. But I'm talking about job market that might take some time and there'll be a gradual improvement. So you'll be more job ready by then. Uh, we have got a person working in loan appraisal officer since the last 5 years with total experience of 9 years. If you want to change your career path or if you want to get into different profiles, is CFA helpful? Yes. So as I told you, right, it's an icebreaker. So for example, you are doing audit and you want to get out of the if you want to get out of your audit profile, CFA gives you that path. But again, guys, if you got an experience of 15 years and you want to get out of that profile and you want to get into a new profile, you'll have to compromise a bit, as in maybe on your salary, maybe in terms of the size of the company, or maybe other things. Like for example, if I work as an auditor from the past 15 years and let's say I'm being paid 20 lakh rupees, and if I want to get into an investment banking doing research job and still I want a salary hike, might not be easy in those cases. So again, it depends on so many other factors, but yes, this will help you to give you that opportunity. And earlier you do it in your career, easier it is. So if you tell me that you do not have a 9 years of experience, you just got 2 years of experience, very easy to move in and move out. But if you tell me that you got 20 years of experience and you want to move out, going to be very difficult. So I already took that question, that whether you get 40% or 50% your graduation doesn't matter. How many attempts we will have for all the 3 levels. So there's no limit to that. So if you have got enough money, you can write even exam 10 times. So there's no upper limit that you to clear the level in 3 attempts or 5 attempts or 10 attempts. Okay, so Mujib, like he has done MCOM in 2013, but from the past 5 years, not in a job. Are you eligible for CFA? Yes, you can do CFA, no problem at all. But when it comes to work experience, when it comes to getting a CFA charter holder, for that, you need total 3 to 4 years of experience after your MCOM. It can be even before you start your CFA journey. Then we have got another candidate who has done MBA in finance in 2014. Keen interest in accounts. I want to learn more, so I'm confused whether CFA helps or not. Again, Siksha, like it sounds very individualistic question. We can do it offline. But again, if you think that you love accounts, you love finance, doesn't nothing stops you to go for this topic. But again, guys, it's easy to get into courses like this, but you need lots of passion, you need lots of commitment, you need lots of hard work to go the other way out. So make your mind up and always have your objective in mind, that why you want to do it. because especially people like who are going to do for going to go for CFA, they might already have a full-time job, or you might already have a family to take care of, and after that you have to take some time out of your personal time to do these courses. So it's not going to be an easy journey. So like many people like, oh, 400 hours, it's so easy, like you spend 10 hours each for next 40 days, you're done. But if you're a full-time employee, it's not easy, right? Maybe during the week, Monday to Friday, you won't get much time. And Saturday, Sunday, when you get some time, you also want to spend time with yourself. You want to spend time with your family. You might have some other responsibilities. So it's not easy. So that's what I'm saying. Make up your mind. That's the most important thing before you register with your course or before you go for the coaching with EduPristine. Make up your mind. Very important. Okay, what can be the percentage to clear level 3 in India? So again, like these statistics are just like guesstimates or assumptions or perception, but like CFA gives that result on a global basis that in level 1 roughly 40% people pass the exam, in level 2 45% people pass the exam, and level 3 50% people pass the exam. So the passing percentage keep increasing because CFA institute says that your competition is increasing and you are competing with smarter people, so obviously the passing percentage will keep increasing. Within India, I don't know what the percentage is, Siksha, but people generally assume and perceive that the passing percentage in India is higher than the global average. How much higher, I don't know. But if I had to make a guess for level 3, maybe 55%. Another question is, will I get a CFA certificate only after 3 levels and 4 years of experience, or will I get a certificate just after clearing level 3? So see, you'll get a certificate for level 1, you'll get a certificate for level 2, you'll get a certificate for level 3, but you'll get a charter. So you can call yourself a CFA charter holder if and only if you clear all the 3 levels and you get a job experience. But that being said, guys, that also requires that charter you to pay a monthly yearly fees of 10,000 rupees or something. But let's say if you don't want to pay that fees, doesn't matter, right? If I just say that, okay, in my case, I've not paid that fees for this year. So I never use the word so far that I'm a CFA charter holder because I've not paid that 10,000 rupees. But if I just take a minute off, I make that payment online. And then if I talk to you, I can call myself a CFA charter holder. So in this case, even the recruiter understands that part, that maybe because he did not want to use the word charter holder, he has not paid that 10,000 rupees. But has he cleared the exams? Yes. Has he got the required work experience? Yes. Am I a CFA charter holder? No. But does it matter to the recruiter? No. How much impact does it make for an already banker with MBA degree and almost 6 years of experience? Very good question. Um, so I'm assuming that your question is like in the sense that is it really worth it for you to do the course because you already done your MBA and you already got a 6 years of experience? I would say yes. The reason being like the market is getting very, very competitive. There was a time maybe like 20 years back, if you did your graduation, you're good to go. But like now, I'll give you the real thing. Okay, a couple of years back, we were hiring for a candidate, and like me working with a good research firm, we had a good appetite to give salaries. So we wanted a person who has done MBA with 2 years of prior experience in finance, and we just wanted to hire one person. You won't believe me, guys. Maybe the recruitment agency was so good, but they sent me like 180 resumes. I said, and these are the resumes which have been shortlisted by them. As in, these 180 resumes are for those people who will be ready to join the job in the salary which we are offering, at the job location which we are prescribing, and with the responsibilities and other things which we are highlighting. So these are not the people who applied. These are the people which the recruitment agency shortlisted after talking to these people for like 10 to 15 minutes each. I'll be like 180, I cannot even go through these resumes. Forget about, like talking to these people. So then we told the agency that, okay, let's do it. Make it like MBA CFA, CA. Out of these three, at least two of them. MBA alone is not enough. So, initially it was MBA or CFA or CA. But I told the agency that, okay, now filter the resumes down and only give me those resumes where at least two of these three are there. So only MBA or only CFA or only CA is not enough. The person should have done at least two out of three. And I was hoping that, I'll get those 10 to 15 resumes, which I can work upon. And you'll be surprised, guys, out of 180, still I got 40 resumes. I still had to go back to the agency and tell them, okay, it's not enough that people have done two out of three. Along with that, I need the 2 years of experience, not just in finance, I need that experience in research, in equity research. And then finally, guys, I had got 13 resume. And all of these people are smart people. I talked to them and we recruited one. But I think that answers your question that the job markets are so competitive. And trust me, guys, once you got like 15 years or 20 years of experience, maybe you can ask me this question and then I'll say, okay, it doesn't make sense. You focus on your work and that'll give you better results. But with just 6 years of experience, it's too early to say that you do not get much benefit by learning more. You should go for the course. After certification, can we apply in other country on the basis of CFA? Yes, but obviously, like that does not uh, alleviate your risk related to visa and other things. You require all of those things, but in terms of resume, yes, it adds lots of value because that person knows what CFA course is all about. So let's say if I say that I've done my MBA from IIMs, I know that it's so difficult sitting in India to get into IIM, and it's so difficult to pass, like from the college. But sitting outside, they have no idea. They don't know what is IIM. What's the difference between CA and CFA? Very good question. So if you ask me, okay, let me do this, okay, quickly. If you ask me like CA, CFA versus MBA, if you want me to compare all these three, one thing I'll do in terms of your money, as we discussed, CFA will cost you like 2 lakh to 3 lakh rupees, depending on whether you take coaching classes or not. CA will cost you a lot less. I think it's less than 1 lakh rupees. But if you take coaching classes, again, it'll come to 2 to 3 lakh rupees. MBA is going to cost a lot more, maybe, like 30 to 40 lakh rupees, depending on what college you do it from. In terms of passing, in case of CA, guys, foundation, 60 to 70% people pass. Your IPCC or inter, I think 20 to 30% people pass, but your final, only 5% people pass. So if I put the probability, the first level 70% people pass, of that 70, the next level 30% people pass, and of the final only 5% people pass. So guys, technically only 1% people become CA holder. In case of CFA, that number would be 40% into level 1, 55% into level 2, and 50% into level 3. So that number is 11%. So the passing percentage is a lot more in CFA. In MBA, everybody passes, but the point is to enter into an MBA college. For that, you have to give CAT exam. And I think, guys, if you get a percentile or if you're in top 2 to 4%, only then you get into a good college. In terms of your time commitment, CA will take a lot more time. So I think people for each, for foundation, people don't study much, but for final and for IPCC, people study for like thousands of hours. For CFA, you all have to do is 400 hours into 3 times, which is 1200 hours. MBA, guys, it's a full 2 years. Along with MBA, you cannot do a job. Along with MBA, you cannot do anything else. I'm not talking about correspondence MBA because that does not have too much value. I'm talking about a full-time MBA. So the beauty of CFA is that you can have a full-time job and still you can do your curriculum. But with MBA, you have to take a break from the work. So your salaries which you're getting won't come. Or if you got some other responsibilities, you cannot do those responsibilities along with your MBA. So, like based on these parameters, yeah, in terms of curriculum, CA is like the financial god in India. But again, that's because that covers a lot. Like what are the Indian accounting standards? What are the Indian taxation policies? but that may not be so useful when you get into global context. But CFA is more global course. So CA is more India course and CFA will be more global. Even MBA guys, I'll say, is more global because they do not just restrict their discussion to Indian markets. CA is a bit more about accounts, like how to prepare accounts, how to prepare ledger, income statement, and balance sheets. CFA is more about analyzing those accounts. Right. So I think Siksha, I've answered your question to some extent, like what's the difference between CA and CFA? And in that equation, I've also added MBA. Another question is, I'm presently working in SBI in a middle management position and having 20 years of experience, whether the change in my career is advisable by taking CFA. That's what I'm saying, Balu, like you have to be very, very passionate about CFA to make that career movement at this stage. See, if you were like in New York, I would have said, go for it. But the problem with India is, like there's a taboo in the sense that, oh, you have been and you have worked in a bank for last 20 years. How can you change your job profile? So this is like something you can blame on the entire system. But in New York, person working in arts department can go and join an investment bank. So those taboos are not there. So I'm sorry, Valu, like it's just like in case of India, there might be a concern. But if you're passionate, why not? But be ready to make some compromises in that case. What is the percentage of hiring? I don't have that data, unfortunately, but I'll assume that if you clear all the three levels, if you're good at communication, you should get a job. But now again, if you're expecting like 30 lakh rupees as your starting package, you may not. But if you're expecting like 8 lakh to 15 lakh rupees as your starting package, you should get a job. As a recently qualified CA, give me advice to the person who asks for CA. It's too lengthy and risk process. Okay, so Teja has recently qualified as a CA. So the advice from Teja is that it's too lengthy and also risk process. Okay, it's difficult to pass the exam as well. So this is what I told you, right? It takes thousands of hours and the passing percentage is low. And along with that, guys, oh, sorry, I forgot that part. In case of CA, you need 3 years of articleship as well. So in case of CA, you need 3 years of experience, but that can be anywhere. You don't need an articleship per se. So that's another key difference. Thank you, Teja, for reminding me that. ICWA and CFA, to be honest, I do not know much about ICWA, but ICWA does not have so much prestige as CFA is. So people ask me like, okay, CFA versus CA versus MBA. But these are like all top-notch courses sitting in India. ICWA will get into the second league. And when I say MBA, guys, I'm not saying like doing just MBA or a correspondence MBA. I'm talking about good colleges, which can be your IMs or even like IMT, MDI, all of these colleges. Cool, guys. I think was it. I've got another 1 or 2 minutes. In case you want to ask any questions, please feel free. Oh, yeah, that's another one. What is the difference between FRM and CFA? So CFA is more broad. FRM is more about risk management. So if you're pretty sure that you want to get into a risk management profile, FRM is the best course. But if you're not sure like whether you want to get into risk management or what kind of job you want to get into, I'll go for CFA. So CFA keeps your options open. FRM is very niche. So if you're decided that you want to get into risk management, FRM is the best course. But if you're not decided with that, go with CFA. One last question, guys, if any. And guys, thank you for attending the seminar. As I told you, just make a note of the number in case you want to contact. Otherwise, you'll get a call from the institute in a day or two. The contact person is Gaurav Sharma. His contact number is 7045 878148. So it was my pleasure to have you guys and look forward to be to see you around. And if you don't have any question, guys, feel free to log out. Thank you very much. Have a nice and a great weekend, guys. I'm here for one more minute in case you got any doubts, guys. Otherwise, feel free to log out if you did not have any further questions. Cool, guys. Have a nice day. Enjoy and all the very best, guys.